Running a business is hard, but you know what's harder? Finding new customers every single week while juggling everything else. If you're tired of chasing leads, writing cold emails, and waiting for replies that never come, it's time for something better. Meet Outreach Machine, your smart all-in-one system that brings in leads, reaches out on your behalf, and starts real conversations that turn into sales. In this walkthrough, I'll show you exactly how the system works, step by step. We'll go from setting up lead lists and configuring automations, all the way to launching cold email campaigns, LinkedIn outreach, and even AI-powered cold calls. It's all done from one simple interface. No coding, no confusion. Let's get into it and see the Outreach Machine in action. Let's start with one of the core components of our system, good old Google Sheets. It's doing two important jobs here. First, it acts as the control panel where we feed in inputs and configure how the system behaves. Second, it's our data store, holding all the lead lists, campaign details, and everything we'll build along the way. Now for this demo, we are using Google Sheets, but you can easily swap this out with another platform like Airtable, Notion, or even a database, depending on what fits your workflow best. Next up is NA10. This is really the engine behind our entire outreach system. We've put together a couple of powerful workflows here that do all the heavy lifting, from processing leads to handling outreach automatically. I'll give you a full walkthrough of how each workflow works in the build video. But for now, just know this is where all the magic happens behind the scenes. Alright, let's jump back into our Google Sheet. I'll show you just how simple this system is to use. Everything runs through one clean configuration tab. This is where you drop in your inputs and tweak the settings for different parts of the process. There are no complicated dashboards, no clunky tools, just a familiar sheet that turns into something powerful when combined with automation. We're almost set, but there's one last step before we kick things off. The system needs some basic information about your business. Just scroll to the bottom of the configuration tab and you'll find two sections, your business details and product or service details. Fill these out with the right information, whether it's for your own business or a client's if you're running this for an agency. This data is passed to the AI agent during lead enrichment, so you don't have to repeat it every time. This helps us keep things consistent and super efficient. Let's get started then. We'll scroll back to the top of the configuration sheet, and as you'll see, there are multiple sections here. I'll walk you through each one as we go. Let's begin with the mode selector right at the top. This is where you tell the system what phase of the process you're working on. You've got options like scrape leads, data operations, enrich leads, and outreach. Each mode activates a specific part of the workflow. So if you want to find new leads, you choose scrape leads. If you need to clean or prepare data, go with data operations. If you want to enrich leads with more information, use enrich leads. And when you're ready to start outreach campaigns, switch to outreach. You'll see exactly how this works in action shortly. Right next to the mode selector, we have the list or sheet name field. This tells the system which lead list you're working with inside this document. You can run multiple campaigns, each with its own list, so this little field keeps everything organized. Just make sure you've entered the correct sheet name for the campaign you're working on. Now, we don't have any lead list generated yet, so let's go ahead and create one and kick off the process. Let's get started by switching the mode to scrape leads. The moment I do that, you'll notice the data source settings section in the configuration tab gets highlighted in green. That's your visual cue. It tells you exactly where to input your data. So just remember, the section highlighted in green is the one you need to focus on. Everything else, you can just ignore it for now. Super simple and easy to follow. Now we are ready to build our first lead list. Let's say we are generating leads for an AI agency that's targeting creative agencies. I've got a few options for scraping leads here: Apollo, LinkedIn Jobs, and Google Maps. And the best part is that the system's flexible enough to plug in other sources too. For this demo, we'll stick with the Apollo scraper. Once I select it, you'll see a couple of input fields pop up to the right. The first one is the number of leads to scrape. and the second is the Apollo search URL. There's helpful guidance right below each field if you're unsure what to enter. I'll go ahead and set the number of leads to 500. Now let's hop over to Apollo and generate that search URL. Let's start by logging into Apollo. Quick heads up, you don't need a paid account for this. Once you're in, head over to the People section. This is where we'll apply filters to find our ideal outreach targets. Since we are generating leads for an AI agency selling to creative agencies, let's look for CEOs and founders of creative agencies. And just to show you how we can apply multiple filters, I'll narrow the result down to a few regions in the US. First, I'll apply the email status filter and select verified. We'll also make sure the catch-all emails is unchecked to skip those risky addresses. Watch how the lead count updates at the top as we fine-tune our filters. Now let's head into the job titles filter. Since we are targeting CEOs and founders, I'll apply those roles here. We're skipping the company filter for now, but feel free to use it if you're looking for leads from specific organizations. Next, I'll apply the location filters. I'll keep it focused on a few states in the US. And to keep our targeting light, I'll also limit this to companies with under 50 employees. For industry and keywords filters, I'll choose design and marketing and advertising. For the company keywords, I'll add the creative agency keywords. With all of these filters in place, we've narrowed the list down to over 690 profiles. I think that's a great number to start with. Now I'll copy this search URL and paste it into the Apollo search URL field back in our Google Sheet under data source settings. Before we run it, let's name this lead list. I'll call it Creative Agency Founders US. We're all set. I'll hit the run button now and you'll see the system kick into action. It has created a new sheet and is now extracting those leads automatically. This may take a couple of minutes. While the system is busy extracting those leads, let's quickly talk about the different approaches you can take for lead generation. If you're selling products or services to other businesses globally, then the method we are using now with Apollo works great. But if you're targeting local customers, say you're a marketing agency helping salons in a specific city, then using the Google Maps scraper might be a better fit. For example, you could extract a list of all salons in New York or London, complete with names, phone numbers, and websites using live places data straight from Google Maps. So no matter who you're targeting, global businesses or local clients, this system gives you the flexibility to tailor your lead generation strategy. Another strategy I've seen work really well is a more signal-driven approach to lead generation. A lot of smart agencies use this strategy and is super effective. Let me break it down. Instead of blindly targeting prospects, we look for signals, real-world indicators that suggest a business might need your service. For example, if you're a lead gen agency, you could use our built-in LinkedIn job scraper to find companies that are hiring for sales or business development roles. That's a strong signal they're focused on growth and more likely to need your help. Or let's say you're an HR consultancy, you could spot companies actively hiring and pitch your recruitment services directly to their decision makers. And the best part is that our outreach system is dynamic enough to plug into these strategies and automate everything, giving you the freedom to experiment, target smarter, and get better results. Alright, the lead extraction process we kicked off earlier is now complete and the data is ready in this brand new tab. As you can see, we've got a solid list of leads complete with names, emails, LinkedIn URLs, employment history, company name, founding year, website, and more. Everything you need to get started is right here. We are now ready to move to the next stage and prep our data for enrichment and personalization. Now let's clean things up a bit. We'll head back to the configuration tab and switch the mode to data operations using the drop-down. As soon as I do that, you'll see the active section changes to data operation settings. That's the only section we need to work with in this mode. There are several operations you can run here. Using the operation selector drop-down, you can remove rows based on empty or non-empty columns, eliminate duplicates, or even filter leads based on specific conditions. Let me show you a quick example. Since I'm planning to use this list for a cold email campaign, I want to remove any leads that don't have an email address. So I choose Remove Row if column empty, and for the column name, I'll enter email. Now I'll click Run. And just like that, the system filters the list. We started with over 500 leads, and now we have fewer numbers. So all the leads without emails were removed automatically. That's how easy it is to prep your data using automated operations. Let's move to the next stage, lead enrichment. We'll head back to the configuration tab and switch the mode to enrich leads. As always, the active section is highlighted in green, and that's where we'll be working. You'll see an action selector here with several enrichment options. I'll show you how easy it is to use one of them. And just like with scrapers, the system's flexible enough to integrate with any third-party tool or service you prefer. Let's start with Verify Email with Million Verifier. This checks if the email in our lead lists are valid, which is super important for cold email outreach. Bounced emails can damage your sender reputation and hurt your deliverability, so this step is critical. To run it, I need to enter a few details here. First, I'll need to give my new column a name. This is the column where the results will show up. Then I'll specify the column to use as input for Million Verifier. In our case, that's the email field. I'll have to make sure that I spell the field name exactly as it is in the lead list. And for this example, I'll run rows from 2 to 10, so this way we can test the action on a small batch without consuming too many credits. And that's it, let's run it and see the results. If I head over to our active lead list now, I can see a new column has been added, just like I named it. The system is already populating the results for the rows I specified, in this case rows 2 to 10. And that's it, that's how easy it is to apply actions and enrich your data in just a few clicks. Let's jump back to the configuration sheet and try out a few more useful actions. Let's try another powerful action, extract webpage content. This pulls content directly from each lead's website's homepage and adds it to your list. We'll use this data in just a bit to craft personalized messages for each of the leads. Let's fill in the details first. I'll enter the name for the new column where the website content will go. I'll call it website_content. Then I'll specify the column name that contains the URLs for the lead's website. And finally, for this example, I'm keeping it simple by processing just rows 2 to 10. And by the way, if you leave any of these values blank, the system will process the entire list by default. And that's it. Let's hit run and let the system do its thing. If we go back to our active lead list now, you'll see a new column has been added, just as we specified. The system is busy filling in website content for the companies in rows 2 to 10. Now this raw content might not be super useful on its own, but here's where things get exciting. We're going to pass this data to our AI agent and have it generate a clear, concise summary for us. Let's head back to the configuration sheet and try out one of the most powerful actions in this system, the AI-powered Add New Column action. You'll find it in the action selector under the lead enrichment settings. Just like the other actions, this one adds a new column to your lead list. But here's the game changer. It uses an AI agent to process prompts and generate personalized results using data from your existing sheet. Let me show you how it works with an example. We just extracted website content for our leads. Now I want to summarize that content into something more useful. First, I'll give my new column a name. I'll call it website_summary. Next, I'll paste in a prompt that instructs the AI agent to read the website content and extract key insights like client testimonials, recent updates, or success stories. And by the way, we've got a separate tab in the sheet with sample prompts you can use, but you're not limited to that. You can build and test your own prompts too, and that's what makes this feature so powerful. Now to pass in the website content, I'll use a dynamic variable. In this case, my website data is in the website_content column. So I'll insert website_content right into my prompt, making sure it's enclosed in curly braces. That's how the system knows what data to send to the AI agent. Also remember, the business information and product or service details you filled in earlier are automatically passed to the AI agent as context, so you don't need to repeat any of that in your prompt. Finally, I'll set the row range from 2 to 10 for this example too, and that's it. Let's click run and see what the system comes back with. Let's jump back to our active lead list and see the magic in action. You'll see the system is now processing and populating the website_summary column for each of the leads we selected. Take a look at some of these results. The AI agent has already extracted useful insights like client highlights, recent updates, and more, all on its own. This content is exactly what we'll use to make our outreach messages feel personalized and relevant. Now that we have this ready, let's head back to the configuration tab and move on to the next steps. Before we jump into our next enrichment action, let me quickly show you what our game plan looks like. Our goal is to generate a personalized cold email for each lead using all the information we've collected so far. To do that, let's first take a look at the sample cold email. This will help us understand the structure and the kind of content we are working with. Once we break that down, we'll identify which parts can be personalized using AI and then automate the whole thing. So let's dive in. This is the cold email template we'll be using to introduce the AI agency we are building this campaign for. Typically, platforms like Smartlead or Instantly let you personalize the name and company name using variables from the lead data. You may also use spin tags to make each email copy different. But to be honest, that's pretty generic. We want the person reading the email to feel like we've done our homework. So instead of sending a plain one-size-fits-all message, we're going to personalize key parts of this email while keeping the structure consistent. Sure, we could ask the AI agent to write a brand new email for every lead, but I recommend keeping some control. This way, you know exactly what's going out. In this example, we are going to personalize two parts. First, the opening line to show we've taken time to learn about them, and second, the value line, the part that shows exactly what we can do for their company based on what we know. Let's get started. The first thing we are going to do is add a new column to store a cleaned up version of the company name. If you take a look at the lead list, you'll notice many company names have suffixes like LLC or Limited or INC. And when these show up in an email, it feels awkward and makes the message look auto-generated. So let's fix that using our AI agent. We'll head back to the configuration tab and make sure add new column is selected and confirm we are still in enrich leads mode. Now I'll name the new column cleaned_company_name. For the prompt, I'll use one from our example prompts tab. It's designed specifically to remove legal suffixes and clean the company name for email use. I'll double check that I'm passing the correct variable. In this case, it's the organization_name column that I need. And that's it. Let's go ahead and click run. If we head back to our active lead sheet, we'll see the cleaned company names being populated. Perfect. Now let's take it a step further and generate a personalized opening line for our cold email, one for each lead. We'll go back into the configuration tab and use the add new column action again. This time I'll name the new column email_opening_line. I'll grab a prompt from the example prompt section, and in this case I'm passing three key inputs to the AI agent: the cleaned company name, the website summary, and the lead's employment history. The prompt instructs the AI agent to craft a short, personalized opening line based on those inputs, something that instantly connects with the reader. Let's hit run and see what the system comes back with. Let's head back into our active lead list. You'll see the new column has been added and it's already being populated for the leads we selected. Let's take a look at a few of these. If you see, each message is personalized and it clearly shows the reader that we've done our homework. This is exactly the kind of touch that helps cold emails stand out. That's great. Now it's time to generate the final piece for our cold email, the value line. This is the part of the message where we highlight what we can do for the lead's company. Let's jump back to the configuration tab and add a new column for it. We'll call our new column email_value_line. Just like before, we'll use a prompt to generate the content. This prompt takes in the organization name and website content to craft a line that clearly explains the value we bring to that specific company. Let's double check that the variable names we are using match exactly what we have in the lead sheet. That's super important. Looks good. Let's go ahead and run it. We'll head back to our active lead sheet and check out the values line being generated. Let's take a look at a few of them. Looks great. These are clear, tailored, and ready to plug into our emails. So now we've got everything we need to kick off our cold email campaign. So let's start our cold email campaign now. Here's what we'll do. We'll head over back to the configuration tab, switch the mode to outreach, and under outreach settings, I'll choose email using Smartlead as the channel. The system is currently integrated with Smartlead, but we can easily connect other platforms too. And if you prefer doing things manually, you can always download the data as a CSV and import it into the platform of choice. But here's the real power move. If you want to send these leads straight into a Smartlead campaign, we just enter the Smartlead campaign ID, we set these inputs and click run. The leads will be added to your campaign automatically. No extra work is needed. And that's how we can prepare and launch a cold email campaign. But we are not done yet. Cold emails are just one part of the puzzle. The system can also automate LinkedIn outreach. And the best part is that you can do it right from the same interface. Let me show you how simple it is to set that up. I'll first duplicate the lead list we just created and name it Creative Agency Founders US LinkedIn. This will help us prepare data specifically for LinkedIn outreach, and it's also a great way to manage multiple lead lists for different campaigns or clients. One of the coolest things about this system is that you can work on multiple campaigns at the same time from this single interface. While one campaign is running, you can prepare data for the next. The only thing to watch out for is the list or sheet name field. Make sure it's set to the name of the sheet you want to work with. So for this example, I'll update our new sheet name and that's it. Now I can work on the LinkedIn campaign while everything else stays untouched. Let's talk about how the LinkedIn outreach system works. Behind the scenes, we use a service called Phantom Buster and our system connects directly to their API. You just link the LinkedIn account you want to use for outreach and the rest is automated from there. When you launch a campaign, the system sends selected lead data to Phantom Buster. From there, it takes care of sending connection requests from your LinkedIn account, all while staying within safe limits. It follows LinkedIn's cap of 100 connection requests per week and never sends more than 20 requests a day. If you're on LinkedIn Premium, you can also send a personalized note along with the request, making that first touch even more effective. Once someone accepts the connection, the agent waits for a day and then automatically sends your first personalized message. And the best part is that you don't even have to lift a finger. Setting up the campaign is quick. It takes just a couple of minutes. Let's go ahead and set this one up now. Now let's configure the LinkedIn outreach campaign. Once we head over to the outreach settings and switch the channel to LinkedIn using Phantom Buster, you'll see the inputs the system expects. First, we need to provide the name of the column in our active sheet that contains the LinkedIn URL for each lead. Next, we add the URL of a publicly accessible Google Sheet that contains the lead data. And this is how Phantom Buster reads the inputs. Now, if you're using a LinkedIn Premium account, you can go one step further and define a column for your personalized invitation note. This is totally optional but super useful. You can also add another optional column for the first follow-up message that gets sent once the connection request is accepted. And finally, just like in our earlier steps, you can specify a row range, enter the starting and ending row numbers if you want to only process a specific part of your list. Simple inputs, powerful automation. Let's prepare these and launch the campaign. To prepare a personalized invitation note for LinkedIn, I'll switch back to Enrich Leads mode and select Add New Column Action. I'm naming the new column LinkedIn Invitation Note. And I'll use this prompt that tells the AI agent to craft a personalized note under 180 characters. We are keeping it short to stay well within LinkedIn's 200 character limit, with a little room left for longer names. Let's double check that all the input variables like company name, role, or website summary are correctly passed in. Okay, looks good. We're all set. Let's go ahead and run it. Let's switch over to the active lead list. You'll see a new column for the invitation note has been added, and the AI is now populating it with personalized messages. It's taking into account the name, title, organization name, website summary, and employment history, all the inputs we included in the prompt. Let's take a look at a few of these. Much better than sending a generic note, right? Looks great. Now for the final piece, the custom first message that I'll be sending after someone accepts our connection request. Now you could use the AI to generate this too, but just to show you how flexible the system is, we'll do it manually this time. I'm going to add a new column called LinkedIn First Message, and I'll paste in a message I've prepared into each row. Now, just a quick note here, for Phantom Buster, variable names need to be wrapped in hashes, not curly braces. And that's it, we're almost done. The only thing we are missing now to launch our LinkedIn outreach campaign is the publicly accessible sheet URL that contains the lead data. For security and best practices, it is recommended to copy just the lead data into a fresh sheet. It's super easy to do that. Just go to the lead list, click Copy To, and select New Spreadsheet. This creates a new Google Sheet with only this lead data. Then open that new sheet, hit Share, and change permissions to anyone with the link can view. Copy the link, and that's it. To launch the campaign, we first switch to outreach mode and make sure LinkedIn using Phantom Buster is selected as a channel. Enter the name of the column in your active sheet that contains the LinkedIn URLs. We then paste the public sheet URL we just created, and this is where Phantom Buster will pull the lead data from. Next, optionally, we can add the column name for the LinkedIn invitation note. Just make sure you wrap the column name in hashes, not curly braces. And a quick reminder, this feature only works if you're using a LinkedIn premium account. You can also optionally add the column for the first follow-up message after the connection is accepted. Make sure that is also wrapped in hashes. Now you can fill in other inputs you require and click Run. That's it, your LinkedIn outreach campaign is now live and automated. Pretty cool how the system is automating outreach, right? But guess what? We're still not done. We can also automate cold calling using AI-powered voice agents. And just like everything else, it can be initiated from the same interface. Let me show you how it's done. Just like we did for LinkedIn outreach, we are going to clone our original lead list, and this time we are preparing it for cold calling. I'll name the new sheet Creative Agency Founders US Calls. Once that's done, we'll head over to the Configuration tab and make sure the list or sheet name is updated to reflect our new active sheet. That's it. We are now ready to start setting up our cold calling workflow. Launching a cold calling campaign with this system is super easy. We are currently integrated with VAPI, and our voice AI agent is already set up there. It's fully configured to make outbound calls on behalf of our company. We've also linked a Twilio phone number to VAPI so it can place real calls to your leads, just like a human rep would. But it doesn't stop there. We've connected VAPI with our own N8N workflows to check Google Calendar in real time, so AI can book calls and automatically schedule Google Meet invites for you. Once the call is done, you'll get the entire transcript, a summary, and even the recording, all neatly added to the lead sheet. And because of how this system is built, it can also integrate with other voice AI platforms like ElevenLabs or UltraVox if you prefer. Let's go ahead and set this campaign up. Before we launch the cold calling campaign, let's clean up the list by removing leads that don't have a phone number. There's no point calling blanks, right? We'll switch to data operations mode, and this is super simple. I'll select the operation remove row if column empty and enter the name of the column that holds the phone numbers. I'll then click Run. Just like that, in a few seconds, we've got a clean list ready for cold calling. Let's kick off our cold calling campaign. Let's switch to outreach mode and make sure the channel is set to cold calling using VAPI. Now we just need to provide a few inputs to get the system going. First, the name of the column that contains the phone number. That's who we'll be calling. Second, the first name field, so AI voice agent can greet the person naturally during the call. And third, the email column. This is used to send out Google Meet invites automatically if a call gets booked. Next, we add the VAPI assistant ID and the VAPI phone number ID, both of which you can easily grab from the VAPI console. For this demo, I limit the campaign to just one row, and to be safe, I made sure the phone number in row 2 is mine, so we are not calling a real lead just yet. That's it. I'll click run, and now I just wait for the call. Okay, my phone is ringing. Let's listen in and see how the AI agent handles the call.
Hello, am I speaking with Harry?
Yeah, speaking.
Hi Harry, I'm Alice from Outreach Machine. We help creative agencies automate tasks like client support, appointment scheduling, video production, content generation, feedback handling, and project tracking using AI agents. May I take a quick moment to explain how it works?
Sure.
Lovely. Our AI agents act like on-demand team members that handle everything from managing client queries to creating briefs, scheduling meetings, and generating content or videos, all without writing a single line of code. This helps creative agencies save time, reduce manual work, and elevate the client experience. Harry, do you currently use any automation for these tasks, or is it all manual?
It's all manual at this point in time.
Thanks for sharing, Harry. We'd love to show you how we can simplify all of that. Would you prefer a quick 15-minute demo, or should I send info via email?
Yeah, sure. Let's do the call.
Great, Harry. What day and time works best for you? We have meeting slots available on weekdays between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Okay. Can we do 10 a.m. tomorrow?
Just to confirm, Harry, you would like to schedule the demo for tomorrow at 10 a.m., correct?
That is correct.
Just a sec.
Okay.
Harry, unfortunately, the 10 a.m. slot tomorrow is already booked. However, I can offer you 11:30 a.m., 12 p.m., 12:30 p.m., 1 p.m. or 1:30 p.m. tomorrow. Would any of these times work for you?
Okay, let's do 11:30.
Just to confirm, Harry, you would like to schedule the demo for tomorrow at 11:30 a.m., correct?
Correct.
Give me a moment. Perfect, Harry. Your demo is booked for tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. You will receive a confirmation email shortly. Is there anything else you'd like to ask before we wrap up?
No, that would be all. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Harry. Looking forward to our chat. Have a great day.
Bye.
So that was our voice AI agent I just spoke to, and I think it handled the call really well. If you take a look at the lead list now, you'll see the post-call report has been updated. I've got access to the full transcript, a summary of the conversation, and other call details, all logged automatically. Even better, I receive an email with the meeting invite, and my Google Calendar has been updated with the scheduled meeting. And that's how easy it is to set up cold calling campaigns. That wraps up the demo of our AI-powered outreach machine. We've covered everything from lead scraping and enrichment to cold emails, LinkedIn outreach, and even AI-driven cold calling, all from this one simple no-code interface. A detailed walkthrough of the actual N8N workflows, the tools we used, and how everything connects behind the scenes will be provided in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. If you'd like us to set this system up for you or you need customizations tailored for your use case, feel free to reach out. We'd love to help you automate and scale your outreach efforts. With this setup, you save time, increase conversions, and keep your outreach running on autopilot so you can focus on closing deals and growing your business. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.